Your credit card expires. Annoying, usually. You update the important stuff, ignore 3 emails, and spend the next week discovering which companies still have your old number. But an expired card also performs a strange little experiment. For one moment, every subscription has to ask you again, do you still want this? Economists studied more than 635,000 subscription relationships and found that, in normal months, retention fell by about 2 percentage points. Around a card replacement, when customers often had to update their payment details, it fell by 8. Nothing about the service changed. The movie library was the same. The gym was still open. The app had not suddenly become worse. The default changed. Yesterday, doing nothing meant paying. Today, doing nothing means leaving. That is the part of the subscription economy we tend to miss. A company does not need to sell you the product again every month. It's sold you once. After that, it mostly needs to avoid another decision. A subscription looks like a monthly purchase on your bank statement. Psychologically, it is closer to an old decision with a pulse. You clicked Start Trial on a version of your life that made perfect sense at the time. You were going to watch the documentaries, learn Spanish, back up every photo, exercise before work, especially exercise before work. A famous study followed 7,752 gym members. People on monthly plans expected to go 9.5 times a month. They actually went 4.3 times. They paid more than $17 per visit even though a roughly $10 visit pass was available. And cancellation did not happen when the exercise stopped. On average, more than 2 full months passed between the final workout and the canceled membership. Those people were not necessarily confused about arithmetic. They were buying access to a future identity. Canceling was not just removing a charge. It was admitting that Monday had come and gone, repeatedly, and the person who wakes up at 6 still had not arrived. Keeping the membership preserved the possibility for 1 more month. This is why people forget is too simple. Sometimes the charge is noticed. It just does not feel urgent enough to deal with today. Canceling creates a small job. Find the account. Recover the password. Locate the plan page. Decline the discount. Answer why you are leaving. Confirm that yes, you understand your data may be deleted and your digital plants may become sad. None of those steps is enormous. That is exactly why they work. A huge obstacle gets attacked. A 5-minute obstacle gets assigned to your future self. Your future self, as usual, has hired the same future self. Some companies have pushed this far beyond ordinary inconvenience. In a case against Amazon, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission alleged that Prime enrollment and cancellation used confusing interfaces. Amazon's internal name for the cancellation process was Iliad, like the ancient epic. That is almost too perfect. Signing up is a button. Leaving is literature. Amazon settled the case in 2025 for $2.5 billion. The agreement included a civil penalty, consumer redress, and changes to Prime enrollment and cancellation. The point is not that every subscription is an Iliad. The point is that cancellation friction is not always an accidental design flaw. Sometimes it is part of the economics. The same American Economic Review study estimated that, among people who had already subscribed, inertia could roughly double seller revenue on average. That estimate depends on the model, and it is not the same as saying consumers lost that amount. But it shows why 1 extra screen, 1 forgotten password, or 1 quiet renewal can be worth real money at scale. There is a twist, though. Consumers are not helpless, and companies cannot exploit inertia without consequences. A large field experiment at a European newspaper tested offers that renewed automatically against offers that ended automatically. Auto-renewal kept some inactive readers paying after the promotion. It also made potential customers nervous. Sign-up fell by about 35%. After 20 months, the auto-renewal offers had produced about 23% fewer subscribers overall. The trap came with a warning label itself. People know something about their future behavior. Maybe not enough to cancel on time, but enough to distrust a deal that depends on them remembering later. So the subscription business has a quiet contradiction. It wants renewal to disappear from your attention, but it also needs you to trust the company before you enter. Too much friction can improve retention and poison acquisition at the same time. That is why the cleanest question is not, should I cancel this? Canceling sounds like giving something up. It puts the current subscription in the position of owner and makes you argue for taking it away. A better question is, would I buy this again today at this price? Now the old decision has to compete with your current life. If the answer is yes, the subscription survives a real choice. If the answer is no, the payment was not loyalty. It was silence. Which subscription would fail that test today?